Welcome everyone, I'm the Clone, and in this video I will be showing you the best clips of me outplaying the shit out of the enemy team and climbing through the ranks. In this particular one we are starting in Diamond 2 and let's find out if we make it to Diamond 1 by the end of the video. Stick around as I will be doing commentary explaining the ingenious ways in which I'm playing and carrying each game. In the first clip I did a classic start where I did my red buff and then invaded the enemy blue buff. The thing that I noticed though is since Hakurim didn't show up to his blue buff, that means that he's actually going for an invade to my blue buff. And now we know for certain because of the word that Elise placed that he's doing my blue buff. Always ping your teammates to help you in such situations. Since the enemy jungler is overreaching and he's on your side of the map, you have the advantage. I aggressively approach Hakurim here because I know I have the support of my team. But since they are collapsing on me, I kill away and watch. I smite the blue from safety and now we have a clear and easy shot of winning this fight since we have the numbers advantage and the position and damage advantage. And just like that we have easily won the early game even though we didn't encounter Hakurim in his jungle to kill him there. Again, the conclusion is always ask your teammates for help and always ping the position of the enemy jungler. Now Hakurim is so tilted that what happens next is hilarious. He's going for my Krugs. I managed to smite it and again I'm asking my laner to come help. Now Hakurim is literally trapped on our side of the map, meaning that it's physically impossible for him to get away. Right after killing Hakurim, I'm looking for my next opportunity. And again, I'm asking for help from my teammates. And as you can see here, Hakurim, he's very confident, but at the same time he's extraordinarily tilted from earlier. That's why he's playing very aggressive. Hakurim basically hinted at this point. That's how easily and how fast we have literally won the early game in 6 minutes and completely destroyed the enemy jungler just like that. Let's just move on straight to the next clip. I'm always staying as aggressive as I can if I know I can afford it and if the enemies are squishy enough. A beautiful Q through that wall and we got an easy kill. Now watch very closely as we know that the only place where Jace can go now is top lane, and watch how I'm tracking him through the jungle and now I'm trying to cut off his path and I'm pinging my teammate showing him where we should collapse on Jace. And just like that we easily stop Jace from going back to the lane, and not only that but we have also killed him. Top lane is basically won at this point. Not only that, but always take the enemy jungler's camps because you will put them behind. Since I know Jace is dead, nobody can come and help this Ivern. And just like that, we have also killed the enemy jungler again. This is a perfect showcase how being aggressive and always knowing where the enemy is and abusing that to your advantage can basically win you the game in the first 6 minutes through counter jungling, pinging your teammates to help you out, and through aggressive positioning. That is Shaco's biggest strength. Now you're in the late game and you have to teamfight on a certain objective in order to secure it. How do you do that as Shaco? The best way to do that is to look to isolate an enemy and assassinate them. Unfortunately, we do not really have the luxury here. The most important thing here is to not let the enemy team know where you are. In this situation, I am not front engaging the enemy, instead I'm waiting for them to regroup, focus on my carries, and I'm waiting for the cannon to isolate himself from his teammates before I even attack him. That gives me an easy free kill. Now I'm looking to rotate and catch the enemy backliners as they are chasing my teammates. Luckily for me I catch the Jinx, unfortunately she has flash and also barrier. It is very hard for you as Shaco to one-shot enemy carries unless you are very fed, and sometimes you will end up trading just like this, but me sacrificing myself, killing 2 of the enemy carries, luckily for us, denied the enemies taking the Baron. In the early to mid game as Shaco, you do not have a lot of damage, therefore you have to rely on your teammates, especially when you're doing objectives. The most important thing that you can do here is to always focus the enemy jungler and try to catch them off guard, as once you've done that, no matter how strong the enemy team is, they will never be able to take the objective because they will be very fearful of your smite and your ability to steal it. Again, I'm looking for their backline, but unfortunately Mel distanced herself from me instead of going back towards the safety of our base. I never really want to leave my teammates in a difficult situation, especially when the dragon is solo HP. I try to look for an assassination, unfortunately that doesn't work out, but we end up trading a few kills and luckily we win the fight by simply taking out the enemy backline, and just like that we also secure the dragon. Sometimes it is worth to sacrifice yourself as long as you know you can take out the enemy backline, backline to get both a ton of kills and the objective. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned about Shaco, especially in the late game, is that it's very important to get Infinity Edge if you want to one-shot squishy carries. Lord Dominik's is much better than Infinity against enemies with a bit of armor, but if they don't have armor, as you can see here, I do not have enough damage for MF. She both heals, I get exhausted. Shaco is not a high damage assassin, he's a utility assassin, therefore it's very rare for you to be able to one-shot enemies. Never risk yourself as long as you know that the enemies have summoner spells up. Now again, we're looking for another fight. As long as the enemies are distracted with your teammates, you can always go in. Unfortunately, MF still has summoner spells up. Again, with Shaco, you do not have enough damage to one-shot them in one split second. Always learn the vision range of champions, because as you can see here, I'm queuing from outside of Fog of War, MF doesn't know I'm there, and I get a huge shutdown on her. The most important thing with Shaco and teamfights is that you have to be slippery, you have to look for their backline, you have to know how to position and have great movement. Just like that, because we were able to take out their carry, we now took Baron. And what you have to do with Shaco when you have Baron is to always split push side lanes. Look at my team's positioning, they are stuck inside the enemy base. If I were there with them, it would be impossible for me to jump in and assassinate anyone. Instead, I'm split pushing the side lane. By the way, pro tip, when you have Baron, you give bonus movement speed to your minions from your movement speed, meaning that if you activate Yomus or go through bushes with a jungle item, the bonus movement speed that you get also goes to your minions, making them much faster. Just like that, we were able to open the enemy base even further. And now with the help of minions, we can finally collapse on the enemy team, but as you can see, I physically do not have any opportunity to go in here because the enemies will instantly get vision on me because of the towers. Therefore, the most important thing that I can do is just stay out of range, create pressure with the minions, and just let my team kill them from afar. With Shaco, you cannot be the one who solo carries by killing the enemies. You have to focus and find different ways to carries by putting your team ahead and enabling them, giving them the ability to end the game and kill the enemies. So many people make the mistake of thinking that they want to be the superstar, be the one who goes in and solo kills the entire enemy team, but in reality, in League of Legends, if you want to be a high level player, you have to know how to carry through different ways depending on the situation. Now in this next clip, it is very important, I want to highlight you something. The importance of again split pushing side lanes even early in the game. Nami gives me her E, and like that I know that I can slow the switch, I have bonus damage, and just like that I managed to assassinate him. Again, I'm split pushing the side lane and I force the tower as much as I can because you basically get 700 gold for the second tower in a side lane. And what I'm doing here is, again, I'm abusing the Fog of War, I'm abusing the vision system as I know Twitch doesn't know I'm there, and I'm getting as close as I can before using my Q. I never use Q unless I must. Always get as close as you can to your enemies before using Q, and only use Q if you must as a gap close tool or keep it as an escape ability. Now again, in this next example, I'm doing the same thing. Here, look at my team. They are all grouped up mid lane and I cannot fight the enemies because of their very strong team comp. Instead, I am pushing a side lane and immediately, as you can see, the enemy team panics and they send someone to hold the base. But it's someone, as long as you can 1v1 them, they cannot stop you. The enemy gets confused and they panic, which results in us creating a situation where my team is 4 versus 3, resulting in me both being able to push and my team winning the team fight even though we were actually behind. And just like that, it was me who enabled us to win the game through split pushing that side lane. We have enough time to actually end the game through that side lane push. I further want to highlight how to play Shaco in the late game. There's literally no jungle camp spawned on the map and my team is fighting in the mid lane and they're losing. What do? I do not panic, instead I'm split pushing the side lane once again. And because with Shaco you have easy escape tools, there's no need to panic. The second someone comes to intercept you, you can simply leave and rotate. And unfortunately here I have to show you another set example, just like Draven from last video. To those who disagree, I have to again highlight that Shaco is not a hyper damaging assassin. I physically cannot even one-shot Nami when she's literally not even aware of my presence and I can land infinite basic attacks on her. A big highlight of Shaco is his ability to actually solo the Baron later into the game. Here is not the case as we get some help from Jinx, but in a later video, once I reach Master, I will show you an even hyper carry where I soloed the Baron and was able to solo end the game. And just like that, because we didn't panic, we created pressure in the enemy enemy base, we assassinated enemies who were isolated from their team, we created a number disparity, and we created a gateway where we can secure the objective, which apparently resulted in the enemy team just surrendering and giving up. Yet again, I'm split pushing the side lane even in the mid game, except this time I see a greater opportunity. Always go for the highest opportunity that you have, and in this case is a team fight. I see that Kane is low. Unfortunately, I do not get to heal him, but my teammates do secure him. Now again, look at how I'm positioning myself in such a way that I can jump on the enemy backline. Luckily, we managed to secure these two guys. I want to highlight something very unfortunate here, which is why I really despise and hate Shaco's backstab ability. Because of Shen's taunt, Ziggs literally shifts 1 nanometer to a side, even though I'm technically still behind him from the character's animation standpoint. His hitbox back is no longer facing me, resulting in a backstab miss. It's wonky situations like this that may result in you not getting the backstab and honestly not getting the kill many times. But if I have the opportunity to force an objective and I know that I can secure it, I always try to do so. This results in quite an awkward fight. I try to space myself, dodge the Ziggs ult, dodge the rumble, but unfortunately I died to an enemy basic attack. In this situation, as long as we got at least one kill, got the objective, I would say it's a worth trade. And again, what do I do next? I split push a side lane. I always split push. This is one of Shaco's biggest strengths and is one of the biggest reasons why I go for Profane Hydra on Shaco. What to do when the enemy that comes to defend the side lane, you cannot 1v1 them. Even though I cannot attack the tower because of the minions, they just take the tower themselves. And just like that, we create immense pressure because, as you can see, they sent 3 enemies to defend this bot lane tower while my team was able to secure the mid lane. Now we back off a bit, and the second the enemies leave the comfort of their base, I'm always in position to flank them, which basically results in most of the enemies dying. And here you may question my aggressiveness. I know that 3 of the enemies are dead. As long as I can secure Smolder, my team will 100% end the game. Not only that, but I'm also able to do half of Rumble's HP, which results in him getting insta-killed by my team, and that's how we were able to win the game. It is very rare that you get to win a teamfight in the jungle and actually win the game that way. It is always through split pushing the side lanes, through forcing the enemy team to stretch out and be in an uncomfortable position that you can force a team fight, or just through sheer pressure that you win the game. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, that you found it helpful. If you did so, please drop a like and subscribe, it really helps out. Make sure to stay tuned for the next video, which will be coming next week, and I will highlight how I was able to get to Master. And soon enough, I am looking forward to be posting the video in which I'm explaining how I was able to get to Challenger with Shaco AD only, which is, in my opinion, much harder than AP Shaco, because as you can see, AP Shaco, the little AP Shaco that I played in Arena was crazy OP. I mean, it was my only Arena game where I never died and I won every single round. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, until next time, stay safe.